Hey you guys, welcome to Unwind the Grind YouTube channel, the place to transition from your dead-end stuck job to a purposeful, thriving career. I'm Samya, founder of Unwind the Grind, taking millennial careers to new heights. I've coached hundreds of people to find a meaningful career path, brand, and market themselves to land the right job, taking the guesswork and pain away from the horrid job search process. One of the questions I get asked most often when it comes to job search is, how do I write a good CV if I have no experience or little experience? If you're facing this issue, stick around to find out how you can still nail a CV that will pique the hiring manager's attention and land you that interview. Before I get into writing a resume with no experience, there's something I want to talk about. Now, I know most of you here are recent graduates in a highly competitive market you've landed yourself in and are worried about securing a job with no experience. The biggest hurdle in your path will be a generic resume that you throw everywhere. Even though you may not be too sure at this point about what you want right now in terms of your career, focus on a limited number of applications and apply with tailored resumes, customized to what they are looking for. Don't use the spray and pray technique when it comes to job applications. It's not the more the merrier. Quality over quantity. Your chances for getting the job are going to improve astronomically if you adopt a focused and tailored approach. And you don't have to start your job search blind, even if you're fresh out of college. Find out what your true career motive is. If you want to learn about finding your dream career, I've got a couple of videos for you, which I will link below. Experience is such a profound part of your CV because it adds value to your skills, talents, and abilities. In other words, it lends them credibility. This is particularly important if you're applying to a mid to senior level position or if you're applying for a technical job that requires you to be well settled in the field. For example, applying for the position of a lab technician on a project that deals with sensitive materials would ideally require you have some experience handling equipment before. But there are plenty of entry-level jobs hiring every single day that are designed to get people like you onboarded and teach them on the job. So rest assured, you've got plenty of opportunities waiting for you if you have the right resume. First things first, when a job posting doesn't demand experience or says experience preferred, you should most definitely go for it. Especially if you're a recent grad, I'm sure you've seen job postings targeted at you, but asking for 1 or 2 years of experience or saying that experience is desirable, which can be frustrating if you don't have any. Where do you start? However, the truth is you don't need any either. When they aren't demanding experience, it means the job can be done without it. When companies hire for entry-level positions, they know they're going to have to train you and educate you. Hence, the experience is not desired or mandatory. You are just as eligible as someone with a few years up their sleeves and have pretty good odds at landing that interview where you can truly shine. Now let's dig into how you're going to craft a resume that will compensate for your lack of experience. Number 1, profile. At the very top of your resume, just under your name, you want to start with a kick-ass solid profile or a career summary section. No objective statements, please. I don't know why people are still advising young job seekers to put an objective statement on their CV. It's obsolete, and for good reason. It offers no insight into your value proposition, what you're all about, and where you can take the company. Your profile needs to be a personal brand statement, just a few sentences about your unique value proposition, which is going to act as your pitch to the hiring manager. Here, you're going to connect what you've done so far with the job you're aiming for and how it ties into your vision for your future. For example, if you're a recent graduate, you would talk about your degree and tie it to your ambition and end with exactly what you're offering to the company. Let's have a look at an example. Bachelor of Urban Development with a mission to leverage skills in design and sustainability to help build the future of urban landscape in line with sustainable practices. With a burning passion for fighting climate change, I have been part of several research projects with reputable professors aimed at finding solutions to the climate change crisis through sustainable urban development. Going forward, I want to implement this theory to practice while expanding my knowledge of the field as a consultant to development firms that envision a greener future. Now hang on, compare this to what an objective statement would look like. A competent and committed urban development graduate looking for a rewarding career where I can grow and learn. I have a track record for delivering projects from conception to completion, and I'm able to collaborate with people at all levels. This, by the way, is still not that bad because it's still specific to what the person offers, but you see the difference. The second profile could literally be true for hundreds, if not thousands, of job applicants. But the first one tells the hiring manager what you have to offer. Your passion, your interests and goals, and how they align with the company. Being specific is your secret sauce. That is the unique proposition that will set you apart from others in the hiring process. Let's have a look at a couple more examples. A data science graduate with a genuine love for number crunching, data analysis, and visualization recently worked on a project where I used different statistical models to accurately predict student performance across 8 different subjects. I want to utilize this passion for data in real-world problems and help companies predict and plan better. Isn't that amazing? Another one. From playing dress up as a child to becoming the family designer, my love for fashion is ever growing. Now with a degree in fashion design from XYZ University, I'm well equipped not just with the theory of fashion, but also the practical knowledge required to run fashion operations. I look forward to turning my thoughts into hot pieces for the country's best clothing brands. Can you guess the objective statements for these 2 examples I just shared? They wouldn't be much different. You would just change your degree and that's about it, because everything else is so generic and so vanilla. No insights about your ambitions or your potential for the employer. Once you've nailed your profile section, the remaining resume will be divided into 4 sections: education, volunteering or any internship experience if you have, additional skills and core strengths, and hobbies and interests, which is optional, but you can have them. In these sections, you really want to drive home the fact that you can live up to the profile you have presented at the top of the page. So you need to show a strong educational background in the relevant field. Pull in all the relevant courses you've taken, courses you've done well in, any projects you've undertaken, and how they have added to your knowledge in the field. For example, while applying for a role in AI development, you could speak of a course project that you used AI in, what problems you solved through it, and what results you got, even if it was a small group project. You absolutely need to be on top of the subject matter, even if you are a recent graduate. Companies are mainly looking for knowledgeable individuals who are agile, quick learners, and well-grounded in the theory of things, of course, along with relevant technical and people skills. Next up, you need an experience section. Yes, I know this video is about little to no experience, but hear me out. Your experience is not limited to just paid jobs. It can include internships, summer jobs, side hustles, teacher assistant jobs, any extracurricular activities you might be a part of, personal projects, or volunteering work. As long as you can show how these jobs added to your skills, you're good to go. For example, let's say you did a summer job as a cashier at your local grocery store. Talk about how many customers you handle daily, 100, 200 maybe. How did this improve your communication skills, your customer service, your people management, your crisis management? Mention any awards you might have received. If you don't even have any internship or summer job experience, you can talk about a personal project like an Instagram page that you've been maintaining or volunteering experiences, even if you undertook them at school level. No experience is too small as long as you can connect the dots and show it as some kind of value addition in line with the skill set the company is looking for. So really, you can have a pretty solid experience section for an entry-level position even without too much professional experience, as they call it. Next, you want to bring attention to your skills and core strengths. Now, your skills can be quite a long list, but try to stay relevant to the job at hand, what they're looking for. I know it's difficult to contain yourself, especially when you're trying to put as much positive light on yourself as possible. But remember, less is more. You need to show that you know what is required, that you understand the job description, and you're picking and choosing relevant technical skills as well as people skills in line with what they need. Now, as far as your core strengths are concerned, always remember to back them up with solid proof and examples of how you are a team player or an effective communicator or you have leadership skills. So if you don't know what your core strengths are, you can take a strengths test and I can help you with that. I'm a strengths-based coach. This is what I do. But once you know the strengths, you want to make sure that you have tangible proof on how you've displayed it. For example, used XYZ app to organize the workload of 5 different projects, all due within a span of a week, scoring an average of A across the board. Finally, you want to end with your hobbies and interests. This is optional if you think you've got enough meat in your resume, but if not, then interests can really be good conversation starters and also show how diverse and multi-talented you are. Just make sure not to put in the generic stuff like reading and traveling and cooking. Dig deeper, talk about your unique interests. It could be stamp collection or learning about a certain language or cuisine or a sport that you enjoy. Your hobbies and interests are a little window into your personality, so be mindful of that when you're writing stuff down. Let's talk about formatting. I cannot tell you how many poorly formatted CVs I still see from fresh grads. If you can't take out the time to present yourself in a neat and clean, ATS-friendly way, then I'm not really sure if you'd be up for the job. Even with all the correct information, your resume can still end up in the bin if you don't have the right formatting. Formatting literally influences what the reader focuses on, and given that the hiring manager only has about 6 seconds to give, it needs to be spot on. I talk about this in detail in my video on how to write a standout resume, so make sure to go check it out, but I want to highlight a couple of things here. First, you want to be careful about how you use the white space or negative space on your CV. It shouldn't look too sparse, but also not too cluttered with lengthy paragraphs and cramming everything to fit together. Make sure you use a simple, neat, clean formatting that is easy to read. Secondly, if you have little to no experience, your resume should not exceed 1 page. It doesn't make sense for it to. For you to drag to longer than a page, you must have added irrelevant stuff or unnecessarily long paragraphs about everything. Both of these are going to hide your potential from the hiring manager and your resume is gonna be trashed. Let's talk a little bit about keywords. As I mentioned in the beginning, a generic resume isn't going to cut it for you. Your resume needs to be tailored to each job posting or job description that you apply to. Otherwise, the ATS bots screening your resume specifically for these words will dump it immediately. ATS or application tracking system is used by almost every big company or recruiting firm in order to process the initial applications because they are too many to be handled manually. I mean, you've been to a recruitment drive and you know the size of crowds that are applying for every job out there. So all you need to do to achieve a tailored resume is scan the job description for keywords and make sure they are present a couple of times throughout your CV with relevant results. These keywords will usually revolve around skills or education or personal traits like being passionate, team player, and you need to mention them in the relevant section from the sections we've discussed. So for example, if the JD is asking for someone skilled in Microsoft Excel, that needs to be in the skills section with additional examples clarifying how you used it in your experience. Similarly, if they're looking for someone with, let's say, good time management skills, that could be mentioned in the profile and in your core strengths, backed by proof in the experience section where you elaborate on it. I have an entire video about getting around ATS bots and how to effectively use keywords and formatting to do that, so make sure to check that out in the link below. To summarize, for a resume with little or no experience, you need a hard-hitting profile section, a strong education section, your top skills, including technical skills and core strengths, properly formatted CV using relevant keywords. Comment below and let me know how you get on with revamping your resume with no experience to one that lands an awesome interview.